Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, two major stories as we start the new week. The outrage after another deadly shooting by a federal agent in Minneapolis.
And the major winter storm sweeping across the country, plus the Super Bowl is now set.
Anger in the streets after Border Patrol agents shot and killed 37-year-old VA nurse Alex Preddy. A growing number of Republicans joining Democrats calling for a full and thorough investigation as top Trump officials double down. This morning, who was Alex Preddy?
Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it.
We hear from some of those who knew him best, and we break down witness videos of the shooting frame by frame. We're live on the scene with the latest.
Deadly winter storm, snow and ice stretching from Texas to Maine, bearing some places in more than 20 inches. Sleet and rain turning roads into ice rinks, causing trucks to jackknife trees to fall. More than 11,000 flights are grounded due to the weather. This morning, hundreds of thousands of customers are without power as temperatures plunge. Ginger and our team tracking it all.
On strike, nurses and healthcare workers in another major city set to walk off the job this morning.
And Super Showdown.
Up near side Nicole, is he out of bounds?
Oh my God.
3 seconds, we're gonna run the clock. That's gonna do it. The Seahawks soar to Super Bowl 60.
The Seahawks soaring at home, defeating the rival LA Rams for their spot in the big game. And the Patriots winning the Snow Bowl in Denver.
Throw, and it is picked off, intercepted.
Beating the Broncos for a shot at their first title since Tom Brady. We're talking to some of the star players live on GMA. Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America. And we do say good morning, America. We're following two major stories as we come on the air. First, the deadly storm stretching more than 2,000 miles, leaving more than 800,000 customers without power this morning, mostly in the south, as they face frigid temperatures.
The storm has also caused chaos at our nation's airports after thousands of flights were canceled Sunday. Roads also a mess. Snow turned ice in many places. We have team coverage of it all just ahead.
But we are going to begin with the latest on the shooting death of Alex Preddy by federal agents in Minneapolis. Outrage over the killing, sparking more anti-ICE protests over the weekend, as well as a moment of silence before last night's Minnesota Timberwolves game.
Remembering Alex Preddy, an ICU nurse at the Veterans Administration, a doctor who worked with him called him a good citizen whose life was just starting. His parents asked for him to be remembered as a kind-hearted soul, adding they are very angry about how he was being speared by Trump administration officials. The incident itself was captured by several bystanders on their phone. The video directly contradicts claims from federal officials that Preddy brandished a gun with the intent of killing officers. We have team coverage, including frame-by-frame analysis of the videos and the reaction in Minnesota and across the country and the White House. Trevor Ault starts us off from Minneapolis. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Georgia. Demonstrations have been happening daily since Renee Good was shot and killed nearly 3 weeks ago. But Alex Preddy's killing Saturday morning has significantly fanned the flames of tension and unrest, especially because of those contradictions between the immediate statements from federal officials against what we see on the video. And the videos are quite graphic, but we are going to show it to you so you can see for yourself what happened.
Overnight mounting outrage and demands for accountability in Minneapolis.
Keep moving!
Demonstrators face to face with police. Over the weekend, thousands braving sub-zero temperatures in protest after Saturday morning, Border Patrol agents shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Preddy, a U.S. citizen who worked as an ICU nurse, the city's second fatal shooting this month at the hands of federal agents. Multiple graphic videos from the scene show Preddy appeared to try to help a woman who'd been pushed by a federal officer. He appears to be holding a cell phone before he's shoved by a federal agent, pepper sprayed and pulled to the ground. 3 officers appearing to grapple with Preddy, one agent appearing to repeatedly hit him. One federal officer appears to draw a handgun, while another agent appears to be seen removing a gun from Preddy's waistband. The video then shows officers firing several shots as Preddy falls to the ground. the officers backing away and continuing to fire. An independent audio analysis finding 10 shots were fired in less than 5 seconds. In court documents, one witness, a physician who treated Preddy at the scene, says agents shot Preddy at least 6 or 7 times, adding the victim had at least 3 bullet wounds in his back, an additional gunshot wound on the victim's upper left chest, and another possible gunshot wound on his neck. Another eyewitness saying it didn't look like he was trying to resist. 4 or 5 agents had him on the ground, and they just started shooting him. Preddy had no criminal record, and local law enforcement said he had a valid permit to carry a firearm. This screen grab showing Preddy on his knees looking down, holding only a phone, with an officer pointing a handgun at point-blank range. But in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, federal officials were quick to blame Preddy, claiming he approached Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun seen here, along with 2 magazines, and said agents attempted to disarm him, but he violently resisted.
This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
Video evidence so far shows he never drew or even reached for his weapon. The Department of Homeland Security says they'll investigate the shooting, but Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says they need to conduct an investigation of their own.
Thank God we have video, because according to DHS, these 7 heroic guys took an onslaught of a battalion against them or something. It's nonsense, people. It is nonsense, and it's lies.
The Department of Veterans Affairs has confirmed Preddy was a nurse at the Minneapolis VA Medical Center, seen here reading the final salute for a fallen veteran.
Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it.
Preddy's parents speaking to the AP, remembering their son as a good man.
He was an outdoorsman. He took his dog everywhere he went. You know, he loved this country, but he hated what people were doing to it.
And his friend Nikki Adams says in her eyes, Alex Preddy was a true American.
He was just a passionate person that really just wanted to do good. He really deeply cared about people.
Now, CBP says the agents involved in Alex Preddy's shooting are all still working, but they have been moved out of Minneapolis. Commander Greg Bavino says that is to protect them from anti-ICE demonstrators. It also means, hypothetically, they are no longer around if Minneapolis police were to try to arrest them. Robin?
That is true. All right, Trevor, thank you. We're going to take a close look now at what the available video shows about the shooting of Alex Preddy. Our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, is here to break it all down frame by frame. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Robin. We took multiple videos, verified them, and then went frame by frame. And we have now a fuller picture of what occurred over just minutes when an initially non-violent encounter turned deadly and became yet another flashpoint in the nation's vigorous debate over immigration enforcement, the use of lethal force, and accountability.
At least 3 minutes before Alex Preddy was shot and killed, he is seen at 8:58 a.m. Saturday holding his phone at a distance from immigration enforcement officers in an apparent attempt to record a nearby arrest. An eyewitness captured this video of Preddy filming the arrest. At no point does he appear to display a weapon. A minute later, Preddy appears to be using his phone to record 2 bystanders interacting with a federal officer before that officer is seen shoving one of them across the street.
Do not push them into the traffic.
Another camera angle shows the officer shove one of those individuals into Preddy. You can see the 2 holding on to each other. The confrontation escalates. Both of Preddy's hands are visible. One holds the phone, the other he held up seemingly to protect himself from pepper spray.
Whoa!
Preddy is seen being pepper sprayed. 3 officers grapple with him until he's taken down and held on the frozen pavement. Another group of officers then surrounds him. At 9:01, the federal officer in a gray jacket emerges from the scrum with a gun that appears to match the one Preddy had a permit to carry. Almost simultaneously, the first shot is fired. Officers step back. Within 5 seconds, 9 more shots, and soon after, the officer is heard. Preddy died at the scene.
Now, almost immediately, the Trump administration declared the shooting justified. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Preddy assaulted officers and intended to kill law enforcement. That's despite an eyewitness account filed under oath, Robin, contradicting the secretary's version.
And our own eyes seeing it for ourselves as well.
And before any investigation.
Yeah, right. What are the guidelines for deadly force, using deadly force?
The Department of Homeland Security does have its own policy saying a federal officer should only use deadly force when there's a reasonable belief of an imminent threat and should stop firing once that threat is neutralized. Even gripping or displaying a firearm is not enough, according to the DHS policy, to invoke deadly force.
Aaron Katersky, thank you very much. President Trump and his administration are facing criticism for blaming the victim of this shooting, as some Republican lawmakers call for an independent investigation into what happened. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. And the more the administration draws their own conclusions without that full, completed, thorough investigation, the more we are hearing Republicans speak out, even the NRA putting out a rare statement as this morning a federal judge blocks the administration from destroying or concealing any evidence. This morning, a growing number of Republicans are joining Democrats, calling for a full investigation into the killing of Alex Preddy by Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis.
What we're seeing on TV, it's causing deep concerns over federal tactics and accountability.
Senator Bill Cassidy calling the situation disturbing, writing the credibility of ICE and DHS are at stake. Senator Lisa Murkowski adding ICE agents do not have carte blanche in carrying out their duties. Others taking issue with how quickly the Trump administration made an assessment, labeling Preddy a domestic terrorist without providing any evidence. John Mitnick, who served in President Trump's first term and helped establish the Department of Homeland Security, criticizing the agency, saying, "I'm enraged and embarrassed by DHS's lawlessness, fascism, and cruelty." But top Trump officials continue to double down. FBI Director Kash Patel suggested it is illegal to bring a gun to a protest.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple.
This morning, the president saying he's sending his border czar Tom Homan to Minnesota, who will report directly to him. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, he said he doesn't like any shooting, adding, quote, "But I don't like it when somebody goes into a protest and he's got a very powerful, fully loaded gun with 2 magazines loaded up with bullets also. That doesn't play good either." It's a stark contrast to what many Republicans, including the president, had to say about Kyle Rittenhouse, seen here carrying an assault-style rifle through Kenosha, Wisconsin in 2020, before opening fire, killing 2 men. He was acquitted on the charges. President Trump called him a very nice young man. Minnesota officials say Preddy was a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry, a right protected under the Second Amendment. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey posting, "Carrying a firearm is not a death sentence. It's a constitutionally protected God-given right." The NRA even speaking out, posting, "Responsible public voices should be awaiting a full investigation, not making generalizations and demonizing law-abiding citizens." The president's predecessors calling for it all to stop. Former President Barack Obama said the shooting should be a wake-up call to every American. And former President Bill Clinton stating, "At every turn, the people in charge have lied to us, told us not to believe what we've seen with our own eyes." And over on Capitol Hill, Senate Democrats are now trying to take a stand, saying they will oppose a Department of Homeland Security funding bill that could lead to a partial government shutdown by the end of the week, which means TSA agents and FEMA response would be impacted. But regardless, it will do nothing to stop the $75 billion that Republicans have already passed and allocated toward funding ICE. Robin.
All right. We appreciate your reporting there, Rachel. Thank you. Our other top story, the deadly winter storm impacting much of the country, leaving areas buried under snow and ice, hundreds of thousands of customers without power. Let's go to Janae Norman in Boston for us this morning. Good morning, Janae.
Hey, Robin, good morning. This one snowstorm brought more snow to Boston than this city has seen in the last 3 years alone. Officials are still urging residents to stay home today as they continue digging out, along with so much of the country, from this storm that dumped 10 to 20 inches of snow in some areas, sleet and freezing rain in others, and now those dangerously cold temperatures are moving in.
This morning, nearly 270 million Americans across the central and eastern U.S. under alert as dangerous winter weather grips much of the country. Parts of Massachusetts buried in 2 feet of snow. Parts of New England seeing snowfall rates up to 2 inches per hour. In Norwood, Mass., a woman dying and her husband seriously injured after they were hit by a snowplow in this parking lot.
My biggest message is please take it seriously. Stay off the roads and check in on your neighbors.
In New York City, the mayor saying at least 6 people died because of the storm as frigid temperatures gripped the tri-state. up and down the East Coast, sleet and rain creating chaotic driving conditions. Vehicles littered on this highway in Missouri. In the South, more than 1 million without power as thick ice puts pressure on power lines.
There's trees down everywhere and power lines as well.
In Nashville, ice overwhelming the branches on these trees, sending them crashing into the road. Extreme cold causing plumbing problems at this hotel in Oklahoma, part of the ceiling collapsing.
And this is the biggest snowstorm that Philly has seen in the last decade. The most snow so far in the last 4 years for places like New York City and other areas. And even though the snowstorm shut down Boston for the second day now, it is not over yet. Another 2 to 4 inches is expected to fall today. And there's a winter storm warning in place until this evening, George.
Janae Norman, thanks. More than 800,000 customers without power, mostly in the South. Victor Kendo is in Franklin, Tennessee. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, George. The race is on to restore power. These line trucks are ready to go. There are hundreds of linemen at this location alone, and they have their work cut out for them. Across Tennessee, there are about 250,000 homes and businesses currently without power. In Mississippi, that number is about 150,000. Louisiana, 100,000. I have spoken with residents who have lost power. They told me it got very cold, very fast inside their homes. They had to find somewhere else to stay. It was dangerously cold. These guys will be working 16-hour shifts, and until power is restored, there are more than 100 warming centers open across Tennessee. Robin?
Many people working hard to get that power back on. All right, thank you so much. Let's go to Ginger with the track and timing of the rest of the storm, that Arctic cold front that is behind it, Ginger.
And that's the problem, is those without power are going to stay very cold. I'll show you. But let's talk about the storm. It's for the most part gone, and there's just a few little light puffs of snow that'll come through the Northeast today. It's more about the black ice that would still happen from Virginia back to North Georgia, and then those cold weather alerts that go all the way down to the border of Mexico. So yes, the numbers this morning, when you add the wind chill is 6 below in Oklahoma City. It's 14 in Houston, 6 in Austin, 19 below in Kansas City, 11 below in Cincinnati. So you're feeling sub-zero. The actual temperature is freezing all the way down to Brownsville. By tomorrow morning, it'll swing to the east a little. A place like Orlando just had record high yesterday of 87. By tomorrow morning, sub-freezing wind chills. 9 below Roanoke tomorrow morning. Pittsburgh will feel like 18 below zero as you start your Tuesday. And unfortunately, we are locked in. We're watching a very active pattern. That storm for this weekend we'll keep our eye on, but it is so cold that some of the models keep us close to or sub-freezing for weeks, Robin.
Ooh, all right there, Jen. Thanks. More of the storm's impact coming up. Whit Johnson is on the road, and Gio Benitez, you're there at the airport for us, Gio.
Hey, Robin, this was one of the worst days for cancellations in U.S. history. More than 11,000 flights canceled. We're going to talk about it all next here on GMA.
Also had the Super Bowl set. Will has a preview.
I do, George. Good morning. It's Seahawks Patriots. We will hear from a couple stars after an exciting championship Sunday. 2 finishes that came down to the wire.
Right there, Will. And new at 7:30, why nurses and healthcare workers in a major city are set to walk off the job.
It is a very busy Monday morning here, and we'll be right back.
Back here on GMA, and that's Budweiser's Super Bowl commercial from last year. Remember this? Featuring those famous Clydesdales. And this morning, we're getting an exclusive first look at this year's ad. Becky Worley is live in St. Louis with the stars. We're going to check in them in our next hour.
Always look forward to that. Now, Will has the other headlines. Hey, Will.
Hey, George, good morning. We begin at 7:30 with an urgent investigation underway after a plane crash in Maine. A private jet crashing as it was taking off from Bangor International Airport on Sunday night, according to the FAA. 8 people were on board. Their identities and conditions have not yet been released. Former Canadian Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding, who had been a fugitive for over a decade, is due in court today on charges of trafficking some 60 tons of cocaine into the U.S. annually and masterminding multiple killings. The 44-year-old is accused of working under the protection of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel. This morning, 31,000 nurses and healthcare workers in California and Hawaii are set to walk off the job amid contract negotiations with their employer, Kaiser Permanente, as they seek changes to staffing levels and better wages. And a passing to note, Jeffrey Mason died Sunday of natural causes. According to his family, Mason had a remarkable 5-decade career in sports television. He was best known as the coordinating producer of ABC's coverage of the 1972 Munich Olympic Games hostage crisis. Mason worked on the Super Bowl, Monday Night Football, the World Cup, the Indy 500, so much more. He won 24 Emmy Awards. He was inducted into the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame in 2010. Disney CEO Bob Iger saying Jeff Mason was a friend and a colleague who had a storied career touching just about every corner of the sports television industry, and Jeff Mason was 85. What a legend.
He was incredibly talented and such a great guy. Such a great guy. Thank you, Will, for that. We're going to turn now to the travel mess from the winter storm, forcing thousands of flights to be canceled. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is at JFK Airport here in New York with the latest. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Robin, good morning. Yeah, I wanted to show you what it looks like here at JFK from the top of the TWA Hotel. I can tell you they have been plowing all night long, and still you have all of this snow. So obviously they have a lot of work left to do here. But when we're talking about weather-related cancellations, we've rarely seen anything like this. This morning, the monster winter storm is wreaking havoc at the nation's airports, putting the aviation system to the test. Around 60% of flights scheduled to depart from Boston Logan Airport today have been canceled because of the storm. Airlines canceling more than 11,000 flights Sunday, one of the worst days in U.S. aviation history. The powerful storm bringing ice, sleet, and major snowfall from the south to the northeast, stranding passengers across the country.
We ended up canceling again, and now we're here.
Sarah Del Gentry was trying to get home to Jacksonville, now stuck paying over $400 for a hotel room.
I think I got one of the last rooms.
Even the Dallas Mavericks were stuck on the tarmac for several hours before players finally got off the plane. Their game against Milwaukee postponed. Some major airports hoping to restart flights sooner, spending more than $30,000 an hour to keep runways plowed. And you've got to remember, when something this big happens, you can't just flip a switch to get the system going again. You actually have to get crews back in place. You have to get planes back in place. So it's going to take some time to recover. In fact, I know someone who was supposed to travel out today. Now they can't fly until Thursday. So we're looking at days of issues here, guys.
No question about it. Okay, Gio, thanks very much. We're going to get more now on the situation in Minneapolis. Questions about the use of force shining a spotlight on the kind of training federal officers receive, how it's different from local police. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is back. Hey, Aaron.
And George, federal immigration agents and Border Patrol officers have different functions and training than local police departments. ICE touted 12,000 new hires in about 4 months, a rapid expansion of a federal law enforcement agency that raised questions about background and experience. The federal officers who are being deployed to city streets to conduct immigration enforcement generally have less experience in crowd control and high-intensity situations than city police officers do. Their training emphasizes de-escalation and the use of non-lethal weapons, Robin.
So when are officers trained to use deadly force?
Well, police officers are trained to reserve deadly force only for the most dangerous circumstances, to confront a threat that puts themselves or others in immediate danger. The courts have historically granted broad leniency to officers who are forced to make snap decisions, but those that result in deadly force almost always trigger an automatic investigation, often by an independent agency. In the 2 deadly Minneapolis shootings, the Department of Homeland Security has resisted that kind of inquiry, raising questions of who, if anyone, will ever be held accountable.
And even more than that, seen them reach conclusions even before the investigation takes place.
They're insistent, and they've reached a conclusion that appears at odds with some of the video.
And one other question, because people ask this all the time, why the masks?
ICE says it's for their own safety because they get doxxed if people recognize them. So they say it's for officer safety. Police departments, though, generally have resisted putting a mask on because it's antithetical to the kind of presentation they want to make, to present themselves as of the community, serving the community.
Aaron Katersky, thanks.
Back now with Super Bowl 60 set this morning, the Seahawks and Pats will face off for the title. We're going to talk live to one of the heroes of New England's victory in just a moment. But first, Will, before you head to the big game,
got to talk about the matchup. Yeah, good morning to both of you. What a day of football it was. Most of the nation was smothered in winter weather. Everyone settled in to watch the penultimate weekend of the NFL season. Denver was a snow globe. Seattle was a cauldron. And now we've got a rematch over a decade in the making with some fresh faces ready to make history.
That's going to do it. The Seahawks soar to Super Bowl 60.
This morning, the New England Patriots and Seattle Seahawks headed to Santa Clara.
Drake May and the aggressive call by Josh McDaniels sends New England to the Super Bowl.
In the NFC Championship, the Seahawks and LA Rams trading blows all game long.
He floats one, Williams wide open and he scores.
Jackson Smith-Njigba with this crucial touchdown.
Guess who? Smith-Njigba, touchdown Seattle.
The Seahawks hanging on to win 31-27, led by a masterful performance by quarterback Sam Darnold.
Darnold to throw.
Throwing for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns. The former 3rd overall draft pick making it to the first Super Bowl of his career in his first season with Seattle.
It's amazing to be able to do it with these guys, though, in this locker room, with this coaching staff. That's why it means the world to me.
New England headed into Denver for their 16th ever AFC Championship appearance. The number 1 seed Broncos playing Jarrett Stidham at quarterback after starter Bo Nix went down with an ankle injury last week.
This is just a great play call by Sean Payton.
By the second half, New England clung to a slim lead as Denver turned into a snow globe.
I'd love to tell you exactly where they've marked the football, but folks, it would just be a wild guess.
The Patriots blocking Denver's tying field goal attempt and putting the game away with this interception by Christian Gonzalez in the final minutes.
This is a deep throw, and it is picked off, intercepted.
New England winning 10-7. Second-year quarterback and MVP finalist Drake May headed to his first Super Bowl.
What atmosphere out here. Battle of the elements. Love this team. How about the defense? Love each and every one of them, man. Pass their back, baby. We got to go win one.
It's New England's 12th Super Bowl appearance as a franchise, their first in 30 years without Tom Brady. Coach Mike Vrabel won 3 Super Bowls with Brady. Now he's looking to make some history. George, it's been a while since I've given you a stat. All right, so Vrabel would be the first person to win a Super Bowl as a player and a coach if with the same team,
same
if
franchise.
the Pats go to the Super Bowl.
So now I have to ask, who was the one who did it with different teams?
Oh, gosh.
You want to do
Come
that
on
too,
now.
man. He's still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Don't blow for him.
I got snow. My head's a snow globe right now. I'll get that back for you soon.
All right. Get back to us on that, Will. Thank you. Joining us now is Patriots star cornerback Christian Gonzalez. You saw that key interception late in the game to help seal the victory for New England. Christian, congratulations. You've only been in the league a few years, and here you are heading to your first Super Bowl. Can you just share with us your emotions?
I mean, it's kind of crazy. Still kind of processing it. I think it'll probably hit real hit when we land in Boston, and just a lot of raw emotions, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and it's paying off.
Let's go back to the big play, the big interception. We're going to show everybody a little bit of it. Why don't you walk us through it? Tell us what was going through your head.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing off coverage, and I just seen him throw the ball pretty early. So at that point, I kind of just flipped from a DB to receiver and go up and attack the ball and secure it and bring it down.
Yeah, you played that perfectly there. We see the snow. It wasn't snowing to begin with. So just talk about the conditions, especially at the end of the game, playing in that snow globe like that.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I mean, the tale of two halves. Like the first half was clear and not really even that cold, and then it came out from halftime and it was snowing real hard. I think it was pretty cool, honestly. It was
just added to the drama.
An AFC championship in Denver. I think it, added to it, and it's fun to get out there and win in the snow game.
Yeah.
Seattle's next. How are you thinking about the matchup and going up against Jackson?
Ooh.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're both Dallas natives. We're from the same area, so I've been knowing him for a while. So, excited to be on that stage, excited to have another week with the guys and go out there and do our thing.
Yeah, you all were just a few picks apart in the first round. Okay, all right. So we heard Will talking about your coach and the fact that, he won it as a player, can now win it as the coach of the Patriots, Mike Vrabel. Has he shared with you yet the experience of going to the big game and what's ahead?
No, not yet. He's talked kind of just about the playoffs. just game by game, and I'm sure he'll talk about it in these coming weeks. But I mean, he's been amazing, just being able to play for Braves, and like you said, I mean, he has the chance that he did it, so he's able to talk to us about how it feels, how it looks, how to continue to grow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he could make history in the process. But I love how, Coach, one game at a time, and that's what you did, and you got yourself to the Super Bowl. Christian, congratulations, and enjoy the experience. Enjoy the experience. Thank you. We appreciate you. All right, you take care. Now, with our play of the day, an Olympic superstar had a lot of fun in the snow here in the Big Apple, right?
When we were out shoveling, I kept saying to Ben, it'd be great to ski or snowboard on this. And hey, New York City would hit more than 11 inches of snow. Perfect conditions for a legendary gold medal winning snowboarder to show off his stuff. Check out Shaun White there, incognito in Central Park, gliding down an incline, ripping a jump over those guys in the snow. One of those guys is actually the comedian, actor, and podcaster Shane Gillis. And then take a look at this move, White nailing a front flip. Yep, right there in the park. Folks were in disbelief when he pulled off his goggles and revealed his true identity. He got great air with another jump. So who needs a big half pipe? Expensive. No, you just go to Central Park. And afterward, he did take selfies with everyone.
Oh, that's pretty special.
Yeah, I can't imagine running into that when you're in the park.
No. But did you see people skiing down the street?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, it was something.
Use what you got.
Thank you, Ginger. Coming up, Becky Worley in St. Louis with the stars of one of this year's Super Bowl commercials. You see them there. And it's our new series, United States of Hot Chocolate. How timely.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Outrage in the streets after Border Patrol agents shot and killed 37-year-old VA nurse Alex Preddy. The second fatal shooting this month by federal agents in Minneapolis. A growing number of Republicans joining Democrats calling for a full and thorough investigation as top Trump officials double down. This morning, who was Alex Preddy? We hear from some of those who knew him best.
Deadly winter storm, snow and ice stretching from Texas to Maine, burying some places in more than 20 inches. Sleet and rain turning roads into ice rinks as temperatures plunge. Ginger and our team are tracking the latest. And we're on a mission to find the best hot chocolate in the U.S. This morning, we're stopping in Chicago and L.A. to see whose cup of cocoa is a sip above the rest. As we say, good morning, America. Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Monday. Good morning, America. Snowy New York City.
Yeah, it's a good morning for some hot cocoa, isn't it?
It really is perfect for that. And we do have that treat on this snowy day, hot cocoa. This morning, we're stopping in Chicago and Los Angeles. It's our new series, United States of Hot Chocolate, to see who has the best cup in the country. And we cannot wait to introduce you to those two shops this morning.
Also, we have more on the major winter storm. We're going to tell you what to expect on the roads as temperatures are plunging. First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the latest on the fallout from the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy by federal immigration agents in Minneapolis. I want to go back to Trevor Ault. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, George. And of course, the tension in Minneapolis has been so high for weeks, but especially so since Alex Preddy's shooting death on Saturday. And what is angering people, so many of them, is what appears to be a contradiction between what federal officials said in the immediate aftermath and what we see on video of the shooting. Now, the videos are quite graphic. We're going to show them to you so you can see for yourself what happened.
Over the weekend, thousands braving sub-zero temperatures in protest after Saturday morning, Border Patrol agents shot and killed 37-year-old Alex Preddy, a U.S. citizen who worked as an ICU nurse. Multiple graphic videos from the scene show Preddy appeared to try to help a woman who'd been pushed by a federal officer. He appears to be holding a cell phone before he's shoved by a federal agent, pepper sprayed, and pulled to the ground. One federal officer appears to draw a handgun, while another agent appears to be seen removing a gun from Preddy's waistband. The video then shows officers firing several shots as Preddy falls to the ground. The officers backing away and continuing to fire. In court documents, one witness, a physician who treated Preddy at the scene, says agents shot Preddy at least 6 or 7 times, adding the victim had at least 3 bullet wounds in his back. Preddy had no criminal record, and local law enforcement said he had a valid permit to carry a firearm. But in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, federal officials were quick to blame Preddy, claiming he approached Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun seen here, along with 2 magazines, and said agents attempted to disarm him, but he violently resisted.
This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
Video evidence so far shows he never drew or even reached for his weapon. Preddy's parents speaking to the AP, remembering their son as a good man.
He was an outdoorsman. He took his dog everywhere he went. You know, he loved this country, but he hated what people were doing to it.
Now, a judge has granted a temporary order at the request of local officials barring the Trump administration from destroying or tampering with any evidence related to the shooting. CBP says the agents involved in the shooting have been moved out of Minneapolis, but they are all still working. Robin?
But still, a full and thorough investigation is what many are calling for. Trevor, thank you, as you know. Thank you. Our other top story, the winter storm impacting much of the country. Whit Johnson is driving around the streets of New York City with the latest on the road conditions. How is it going out there, Whit? Good morning.
Hey, Robin, good morning to you. Well, you can take a look at the conditions right now. The plows have done a pretty good job clearing the streets, but the side streets, which is what we're on here, especially very slick with slush and ice. You can see the accumulation on the side of the roads and on top of the cars here. At the peak of the storm, the snow was coming down at a rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour, totaling more than 11 inches here in New York City. So the city has 2,500 workers on 12-hour shifts working around the clock to clear the roads, 2,000 plows, 700 salt spreaders, and 700 million pounds of salt. And they have needed all of that. Sanitation officials say that every single block in New York City has been plowed at least once so far, many of them multiple times. But this morning will be a real test as people get out and get back to work. Today, most schools across the New York area are either closed or switching to remote learning. So that should help ease some of the traffic. But again, officials are urging everyone, not just in New York, but any area impacted by these storms, to stay home, stay off the roads, and allow crews to do their work. Robin?
All right, Whit, everybody stay safe out there. Appreciate it. Let's go back to Ginger, latest on the storm. Arctic cold front that we're going to have for a while.
That's the problem, is here we could be sub-freezing for at least a week, so look for it next Monday if we're lucky. And that's going to be the problem where ice and sleet fell all the way back to Mississippi, remember. So let's go ahead and look at some of the numbers. More than 23 inches in New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That was one of the tops, just short of 2 feet. Coventry, Connecticut, 1.5 feet. Philadelphia had more than 9 inches, which is the biggest snow they've had in a decade. We've had some pretty measly winters, but boy, it's coming through this winter. And we still have some winter storm warnings up in New England. A puff or two will give you an inch or two more on top of what you had, but blowing snow could be a problem. Then it's all about these cold weather advisories and the extreme cold warnings that go to the Mexican border. This morning, it is very cold for the hundreds of thousands that lost power in Tennessee or Alabama, Mississippi because of that ice. You this morning are so cold. 6 below the wind chill in Nashville, 6 below for Little Rock, 22 below in St. Louis. Cincinnati had more than 10 inches of snow, and now by tomorrow morning, they're feeling like 11 below. A place like Orlando was nearly 90 yesterday. There'll be sub-freezing wind chills by tomorrow, and this is the pattern we are locked into, Robin.
We would prefer to have. All right, Ginger, thank you. Coming up on our GMA morning menu, we're counting down to Super Bowl Sunday. Becky Worley is in St. Louis. The famous Clydesdales and their new friend bringing an exclusive look at this year's Budweiser ad.
Also, we'll talk with Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro on his reaction to the events in Minneapolis and his new book, Where We Get the Light.
And this morning, the Seahawks star wide receiver, there he is. He's going to join us live, talk about facing off against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Thanks for getting up early, my man.
And Oscar winner Sam Rockwell's here to talk about his new sci-fi film, and if he'd return to the White Lotus. It's all coming up right here on GMA.
We are back with an exclusive for our GMA cover story. Budweiser has had some of the most memorable Super Bowl ads over the years. And Becky is in St. Louis with a first look at this year's commercial that marks, it's a special anniversary. Good morning to you, Becky, and your friends.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, you're so right. From Budweiser, those frogs, to what's up? These Budweiser ads are so memorable and iconic, and the Clydesdales have always played a part. Well, this year, with Budweiser celebrating its 150th anniversary on the same year that the U.S. is having its 250th birthday, those ideas are coming together in the ad, and we have an exclusive preview for you. Take a look.
I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird will never change. Oh, and the bird you cannot change. Lord, I can't change. Won't you fly?
Crying? Sun's in my eyes.
Yeah, me too. Lights in my eyes. But yeah, I'm here with Chris Wiegert, who is the handler for the Clydesdales, and some of these amazing stars of the ad, including Lincoln. Chris, tell us about these amazing animals.
We've got Hansi here. He's a full-grown Clydesdale. Zeus over there was actually in this year's ad, so he's aspiring to be Hansi one day. And our new character, Lincoln, was added this year, to celebrate America's 250th birthday and Budweiser's 150th anniversary.
Amazing. They say never work with children or animals, and you've got animals and a cute little kid animal. What were they like on set?
Oh, these guys are celebrities. They love to perform. When we get them there, plenty of rehearsal time, getting used to each other. We had some specially created harness for safety and get these guys used to it, and they nailed it, as we just saw.
Wow. You've been doing this your whole career. Did these ads influence you?
Oh, I love it. Everything Budweiser stands for, the quality and our heritage, and what we do, coming to the Super Bowl for our 48th time and national spot. It's so exciting, and I just love having the front row seat and get to share it with the world.
Incredible. And, it's just been great to be here with these amazing animals, you guys. Lincoln is a rescue eagle. He is incredible. And just the size of these horses. Rob and Ginger, can you believe? I just feel like
Gorgeous.
a miniature human next to them. It's incredible.
They're so beautiful every time.
Absolutely. Please thank them. To have that exclusive first look like that. Yes, we were tearing up here as well.
Yeah, same. It was dust or sun or something.
Yeah, something like that. Thank you, Becky. Let's get over now to George.
Okay, thank you, Rob. We're joined now by Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, out with a new book, Where We Keep the Light, Stories from a Life of Service. Governor, thank you for joining us this morning. I know you're stuck there in Pennsylvania because of all the snow. And I want to get to the book, but first, your reaction to the events in Minneapolis this weekend, the shooting of Alex Preddy.
Look, it is just awful, and my heart breaks for Alex Preddy, his family, for Renee Good a few weeks before that. Look, a fundamental responsibility for government is to keep people safe. And part of the way you keep people safe is by building trust between law enforcement and the community. What Donald Trump and the federal government are doing is eroding that trust, is making people less safe. And it is time to terminate this mission led by CBP and ICE, this mission directed by Trump and Vance and Noem to wreak havoc on a community. And we need a full investigation led, I believe, by the state government to determine all of the facts surrounding the killing of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Their families deserve that. The community deserves that. And we deserve peace and safety in the community at a time where we see the president and the federal government simply gaslighting us, ratcheting up the temperature and making people less safe.
What do you mean exactly by terminate the mission? You want the CPB and ICE agents to be removed from all American cities?
This mission in Minnesota is compromised. It's been directed by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Kristi Noem in a way to wreak havoc on a community, in a way that is very clearly violating people's constitutional rights each and every day, and has led to 2 tragic killings in the streets of people who were not a threat, I believe, to law enforcement. Look, I'm the former chief law enforcement officer of this Commonwealth. I've dealt with police-involved shootings, and I've sent police out on missions routinely. I can tell you that the practices that these ICE and CBP agents are engaged in are not proper police tactics. From their masking to the way they are stopping people simply because they have an accident or because of the color of their skin, this is not proper policing. This mission in Minnesota needs to be terminated.
Do you support the effort by Democrats in Congress to block the funding of the Department of Homeland Security until these reforms are in place that could lead to a partial government shutdown?
You know, I took note of Senator Cortez Masto's plan. She understands the importance of investing in law enforcement, but by withholding the funds for this mission, I think she makes the exact right point. The challenge here, the problem here, pardon me, George, is the direction that these federal agents are receiving, the direction that's coming all the way from the top, from Trump and Vance and Noem. That is compromised. It needs to be terminated. And I would not continue funding this and giving the president a blank check to wreak havoc and undermine people's constitutional rights in our cities.
One of the core principles you enunciate in your book is that we have more that unites us than divides us. You see what's happening in Minneapolis, you see what's happening in the streets of our country, and does it challenge your thesis?
There is no question, George, that there is a lot of darkness out there. There are a lot of challenges. But the reason I set out to write this book is because every day I'm privileged to go out and see people bringing the light in their communities. Sometimes it's in small gestures, sometimes it's in more grand operations. But the bottom line is I see a lot of good. As I was writing this book, of course, and you know this, George, because you were there, my family and I were attacked at the governor's residence, a moment of real darkness for us. But what inspired me afterwards was all the light that was brought by people of all different faiths, from all different backgrounds, who came together and prayed for our family, prayed for our Commonwealth, quite literally strengthened me and helped me heal. I see these acts every day of people who are making real change in their communities. And so I would hope that even in these serious moments, even in these moments where I know we are consumed by this darkness, particularly coming out of Minneapolis right now, let's not forget that there are people in the world doing good, bringing light each day. And this book seeks to highlight those individuals doing that work and the way they've inspired me into a life of service.
And how do public officials like you inspire that kind of light?
I think what we try to do is speak and act with moral clarity. We do, quite frankly, the opposite of what we've seen this president and vice president do in the wake of the killing of Alex Preddy. You know, I'm a father of four, George. The idea that, God forbid, a million times over, this type of pain would be inflicted on my family, and then the leader of the free world and his sidekick would go out and attack my child the way this president did, would make it harder for a community to heal, would throw gasoline on the fire. That is not the kind of leadership we need right now. I do think we have people modeling that good behavior in elected office. I think we've got a whole lot more people, frankly, outside of elected office who are modeling that behavior. And part of the point of my book is to encourage more politicians, particularly those who enable this president on a daily basis, to take their cues not from the division that exists, in our society and sort of pushed even more so by social media, but instead take their cues from good people who are doing good things in our communities each and every day. And that's where I find the light.
Governor Shapiro, thanks for your time this morning. Where We Keep the Light is out tomorrow.
Now to Super Bowl 60. The Seahawks and Patriots are officially set to face off. And we are joined now by Seahawks wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba. Good morning, JSN. Congratulations. We are so happy for you all. Tell me, last night you said it's a dream come true. Has it settled in? How are you feeling?
It has not. It has not. Only a few hours of sleep. I'm going to wake up and watch the game over again and kind of let it just settle in. But it's been a great couple hours for me.
Well,
we are glad that you joined us here. And you'll notice when you watch the game back, none other than Tom Brady was complimenting you early on in the game about just how great you are. And then, like, the next play, you made that one-handed toe-tapping catch on the sideline to sort of prove his point. So well done there, and well done all season. You're an elite company now. Only 4 receivers in NFL history have had 90-plus yards receiving in 14 games, including playoffs. What does it mean to you for you to have such success, but also for it to be recognized by the whole country?
It's just an honor. Honestly, it's a testament to a lot of hard work that I've been putting in and the guys putting in the off season. And, you know, for me, just chasing my ultimate goal, our ultimate goal, which is, you know, to win a Super Bowl, has brought me to brings the personal accolades and all this crazy stuff, and it's an honor, and I appreciate all the love and things like that.
Oh, we love it. So bringing it back to the team. So it wasn't just a normal win, though. This was against a divisional rival to get to Super Bowl 60. Did that make it extra sweet?
It did. You know, beating those guys, you know, I got a lot of respect for them. It's a big rivalry, and to beat them twice, you know, that's a hard thing to do in this league. And just super proud of my teammates on how we, you know, came out and fought and executed.
I got to say, I thought you were going to give an athlete answer saying, oh, you just play who's in front of you. I'm glad that you admitted it was better to beat the Rams, your divisional rival. And you did it at home in front of arguably the best, or loudest at least, fans in the league, the 12s, the 12th man. What was the atmosphere like in the stadium last night? It was popping off on TV. Must have been amazing to play in front of them. And what does it mean to try to go win the Super Bowl for those great fans?
Man, it means everything. It was a true home field advantage. And we knew that, you know, we had to use the 12s, and the 12s were going to have our back throughout these playoffs. And getting the home field advantage 1 seed was a huge deal. You know, going through Seattle, we know it's a tough place. So, you know, we'll take all we can get. And, you know, I'm ready to bring the Lombardi back to Seattle.
We were just watching video there of your team running on the field as the clock hit 0. What do you remember going through your mind as that final whistle blew and you knew that you are 1 game away from immortality as a Super Bowl champion?
Honestly, I thought the game was still going. I thought they were going to say he was out of bounds. So I was trying to get the defense, you know, back locked in, waving them down. But, you know, it's an honor. You know, it's a dream come true to be in this position and to play for the Super Bowl with my guys. And, you know, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else or be with any other team. And, you know, it's just it's a dream come true.
Oh, thank you so much, Jackson. We are so appreciative of your time this morning. Congratulations. Good luck coming up. This is good. My boys are going to be so proud I got to do
well
this.
done.
You too. All right, coming up, Sam Rockwell is here telling us all about his new movie. So go nowhere.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
And we are back with Oscar-winning actor Sam Rockwell here to talk about his new movie, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
I know.
So
Sorry.
what's the movie to back up this title?
Well, it's about a ragtag group of people led by this man from the future who is really not the best guy for the job. He's not, you know, he was the bottom of the list to sort of safeguard the future of AI.
That's your job.
That's my job, to kind of get these people to rally this very eclectic group of people.
Ooh, can we see a clip? Can we?
Yes,
please.
Absolutely. Which clip
let's see
we
it
got?
right now.
We got? Is it me and Juno?
Plug it in. Yeah, plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. Where?
What? You don't know how to use this thing?
No, Susan, I don't know how to use the most complicated computer ever built.
Sam, I gotta ask you, what would you do first if you really had to save the world?
I would make everyone work in a restaurant for a year, probably.
That's good.
That would be the first thing I would do.
Is that something you did?
I did. I worked in restaurants for a good 5 years. Bus tables, bar back, stuff like that.
Yeah, you learn how to take care of people.
Yeah, exactly.
So we all remember White Lotus. It's such an incredible performance.
Thanks.
But is it true that that famous monologue almost didn't happen?
Yeah, well, it didn't happen almost for me. Yeah. Woody Harrelson was offered that part. He had to drop out.
Where's it come from?
And then I dropped in. And it was right after shooting this, so I was all monologued up. You know. So if you think that's a good monologue, check out Good Luck, Have Fun. There's a lot of monologues in that. Because we'd done a barrack in Buffalo right before we went to South Africa. I think we came on the show. Me and Lawrence Fishburne came on the show, and we did a bunch of monologues in that, and then. So it's monologue. It was a monologue year.
Yeah. Any chance we're going to see you in future episodes?
No.
No.
No. That guy's done.
Oh, come on.
I would have to. I don't know how to top that. I don't know how to top that.
Yeah. What do you think about the series that really?
I think it's kind of amazing because it's about character, which is great for actors. One of my best friends is on the new season, Chris Messina, and I'm really excited for him. He gets to play a wild character.
Yeah, so, in a great setting, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's really no holds bar. I mean, Mike is really, it's kind of like a Paddy Chayefsky. He's amazing.
He really is incredible. I don't know if you have any spoiler alerts here, but what about Avengers Doomsday?
Oh,
will we see?
I wish my phone isn't ringing, man. I don't know. I'm waiting for the call for Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer, let's get it going, man. No, I don't know anything about it.
But you'd welcome.
Sure, yeah.
Well, we all hope you come back. Cannot wait to see this movie. Thank you for
Thanks
coming.
a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Did you have any trouble getting to the studio? Or you're a New Yorker, right?
No, it's easy peasy. 'Cause I'm downtown. I live in the East Village.
You do seem like a village guy, I gotta say.
Right? Is it the stash?
Yeah, the whole one.
Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is in theaters on February 13th. Thank you.
Now, with the behind-the-scenes story of the creation of Disneyland and the race against time to open the gates, Leslie Iwerks, the third generation of Disney creators, is here to tell us about her new documentary. It is called Disneyland Handcrafted. I watched it this weekend. It is absolutely, you learn so much. It's wonderful to see you again.
Thank you.
Third generation. Talk about your father and your grandfather and what it's like to be part of the Disney family.
Well, my grandfather was the co-creator of Mickey Mouse with Walt Disney and the designer, and they were partners back in Kansas City, Missouri. And as teenagers, they had the Iwerks Disney Company, and they created Alice in Cartoonland. And then when Walt moved out to Hollywood, he needed an animator to help with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, so he designed Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And then when he lost Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, he ended up needing a new cartoon character. And so that's when Ub came to the rescue and designed Mickey Mouse and co-created with Walt. And then it was their third cartoon, Steamboat Willie, that they put synchronized sound to it, and that was really the launch of the Disney company as we know it today.
How did they get together in the first place as teenagers?
They met at the Kansas City Film Ad. They were just young artists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they just hooked, they just connected innovation and tireless creativity, and
what a partnership.
They spent the rest of their careers together.
Wow. Oh, that's fantastic. Let's take a look at a clip.
Yeah.
As far as the opening period, it was very hectic. I know at the time we lived down there. We lived over the city hall. We did all our last drawings on the second floor of the city hall there, and we were right on the spot.
It was just like a great big panic all the time. It was a miracle that it ever went on, and just as it was a miracle that Disneyland ever got open on date.
Hectic panic. Well, it is kind of incredible. Imagine built and open all in a year?
All in a year.
Why such a tight deadline?
Well, so what people don't really remember is that ABC was an investor in the park from the very beginning. And Disney needed ABC to finance the park. They put up 35%, $5 million at that point. And that was unheard of for a network, which was kind of failing behind the other two networks. Well, he put up a deal that it was 1 year to do a TV show promoting Disneyland, and then ultimately they would build the park in that 1 year. So it was the spectacle that people were watching all over the country, and ultimately on opening day, that was the pressure. And so they did it. They did it, and it was this film is all about the pressure of making Disneyland while promoting it on the
Against
TV.
the clock.
Yeah,
Wow.
against the clock. So it's all this really unique footage that a lot of people have never seen about the craftspeople that put it together and all the hand craftsmanship.
All that goes into that. And I often say, dream big, focus small. And Walt Disney did just that. He, so creative, had these big ideas, but he also put the people behind it to make these dreams come true.
Yep, he risked everything. He risked everything to make this dream come true. And to think that now we've got all these theme parks around the world and people are still pilgrimaging now to Disneyland and they're showing this film on their tablets or on their iPhones.
Yeah, so they're learning a lot as they go around, right?
They're going to the original places that you see in the film and say, oh, there's that brick that they were laying. And so it's pretty amazing.
That must be so rewarding for you.
It's fun. It's fun to be able to give this to the fans. And it's also a great business story. You know, it's really a story about business and leadership and vision and risking everything you have to do it to create happiness in the world. It's an amazing business model.
It is the happiest place in the world. It is. It's magical. And so we want you to have a magical day.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you very much. And we want everybody to know that Disneyland Handcrafted, I love that name, Handcrafted, streaming now on Disney Plus and Disney's YouTube channel. Go figure.
Go figure.
Let's go down to Ginger.
Thank you, Robin. Now we have an NHL exclusive. Here's former NFL star and commentator Jason Kelce with a special announcement about the upcoming outdoor game in Florida.
How's it going, everyone? This is Jason Kelce, and I'll be part of this year's 2026 Navy Federal Credit Union Stadium Series game at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Catch the game this Sunday between the Boston Bruins and Tampa Bay Lightning at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Will it be a doozy?
It will be. Don't miss Jason Kelce and the NHL Stadium Series game this Sunday on ESPN. Coming up, whose cup of hot chocolate is the best in the nation? We are in Chicago and Los Angeles as we kick off our new series, The United States of Hot Chocolate. Next.
We are back now on GMA. Got a new series. It's so appropriate. It is United States of Hot Cocoa. Who doesn't like hot cocoa, especially on these cold days? We're on a mission to find the best cup of hot chocolate in the country. And this morning we're in Chicago and we're in LA. So first up, Chicago. Tracy Butler from our ABC station WLS has that story for us. Good morning to you, Tracy.
Good morning, everybody. And you said it, Robin. There is nothing like a cup of hot cocoa on a cold morning, especially here in Chicago where we have cold weather advisories that are in effect. Well, let me tell you, we have found the best hot chocolate in the country with every sip. It's here at Mindy's Bakery. Take a look.
Being a James Beard Award-winning pastry chef, it's really all about the ingredients and it's all about the feel.
Chef Mindy Siegel knows a thing or two about desserts with a sweet spot for chocolate.
I went to Paris and I made my own chocolate in France, and my hot chocolate is made with that chocolate.
She's been in the restaurant business for decades, naming her first business after inspiration from, of all movies, Coming to America.
Sexy chocolate! We love the movie so much. And I was like, well, I can't call it sexual chocolate. So what can I call it? Oh, I can call it hot chocolate.
Mindy's Bakery serves up the decadent drink in Chicago.
Our hot chocolate blend is made like a ganache. So it's made with actually a combination of milk and cream, and then we just add our chocolate to it.
And her Windy City customers, they simply can't get enough. Well, no, they can't get enough, and that's why there are lines outside Mindy's Bakery Wednesday through Sunday. But I want you all to meet Mindy herself right here. Mindy, what do you think makes this experience of your hot chocolate so grand?
So many things. First of all, 2 types of ganache. We've got a liquid hot velvet ganache, and then we've got this whipped ganache, and it's made with our chocolate that I made in Paris.
Your own chocolate. Okay, so what do you want us to get out of this experience?
So the piece de resistance is the angel wings of the chocolate that I made in Paris, and then it goes right there.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
Right there, and then you try it. You tell me. You tell me. Proof is in the pudding.
Oh my heavens to Betsy, good gravy. That is
Oh my God.
smooth.
Woo!
That is velvet.
Liquid velvet.
Liquid velvet.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that chocolate, it's in depth, it's rich.
Wow. Oh, I want more. I will have more.
You got the marshmallow.
I want you to know something.
Yeah.
So because Good Morning America
Yeah.
is in search of the country's best hot chocolate,
Yes.
you are going to New York.
I'm going to New York to Good Morning America.
And not only that, if you are the winner of the competition, which I don't know how you can't be, you could win. Okay, are you ready?
Bragging rights?
Bragging rights and $10,000.
I did not know that! Wow! What?
Mindy's! We are cheering on Mindy's. We're sending it back to all of you.
Oh my goodness.
Well, heavens to Betsy, actually.
Heavens to Betsy. And cannot wait to taste it here in New York.
Oh, I can't wait to see you all. But you're going to have competition because we have to go to Los Angeles now, which isn't just home to Hollywood, also the next stop on our United States of Hot Cocoa tour. Annabelle Munoz from our ABC station KABC is there in LA with the story. Good morning, Annabelle.
Good morning, Ginger. You know, there's certain things that just go together. We're talking about peanut butter and jelly and popcorn and a movie night. But here at El Moro in Los Angeles, there's nothing quite like a warm churro and a cup of hot chocolate.
That first bite of the warm churro with the hot chocolate, that combination, it's the greatest.
And El Moro owner Santiago Iriarte would know. His family has been crafting churros for nearly a century.
It was started by my granddad's brother. He decided to just set up a churro car in downtown Mexico City, and then he decided to get his first location, and that store's been there for 90 years now.
Santiago and his brothers creating what they say is the best hot chocolate around.
We get our chocolate from the oldest hacienda in the whole of America.
The chocolate coming in an array of flavors.
If you want bittersweet or sweet with a vanilla touch or cinnamon touch, you can get it, and everyone enjoys their own kind of chocolate.
The most important part for Santiago is El Moro's family ties.
El Moro is not only churros and chocolate, it's like community, it's friendship, it's tradition.
Well, and now we're back here live. I'm joined by the owner of El Moro, Santiago Iriarte, and also by Master Churrero Alfredo Villalba, who's joining us this morning to tell us a little bit more about this chocolate. We know there's 7 flavors. Alfredo, what makes this chocolate and the varying options so special?
What makes very special our chocolate is that a product that we brought from all this hacienda from Mexico. And also what makes our chocolate very special is that we have been done this for 90 years. And also, when you dip our crispy churro into the chocolate, it makes the perfect combination.
We have to agree. We tried it. It's delicious. They also have champurrado, by the way, in Santiago. You know, when we talk about food, it's so much more than just a flavor or an experience, right? It's something that speaks to your soul, and in your case, a story, a legacy, your family, nearly 100 years. Yeah. What does it mean to you to continue this legacy, both in Mexico and now growing here in Los Angeles?
It's incredible, to be honest. It's an honor, a privilege, and just the fact of imagining that my granddad would have been here, he would have been amazed by it. It's a dream come true, and we're very, very happy to be here.
We know a lot of people are excited to have you here in Los Angeles. You have some big things coming up this Thursday, both the grand opening of this location. We also want to let you know that we believe this is some of the best hot chocolate in the country, so GMA. Because of that, GMA wants you to pack your bags. We're sending you to New York for a chance to win $10,000 in our company. You ready?
Yes.
We'll see you in New York, you guys. But thank you for joining us here in Los Angeles. You have to try these churros and hot chocolate.
We will on Thursday. We're going to be trying. The bar has been set very high with those first two.
And a master churrero? I didn't even know that was a thing. It's so good. But tomorrow, we've got more competition because the United States of Hot Cocoa heads to Detroit.
King of Queens.
Good week for the hot chocolate.
Yeah, I want hot chocolate now.
Gotta wait.
Good day, everyone.